What's up, everybody? Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Attack of the Sleepless Nights server, running the Attack of the B-Team Modpack. When we left off, I don't honestly remember what everything we covered was, because it's been a while since we recorded.
A lot has happened.
A lot has happened. I'm here with Bass Play KG. Adrian is not present at the moment. I'm not really sure where he was. This was kind of a random episode. I just wanted to do some recording before we did any more to the bases because I was afraid we were going to get too much done. So I've been delving a lot into the Tinker's Construct mod. It is amazing, but Bass Player also doesn't know some of that stuff, so I'm going to do that last so that he's... What are you doing again?
I'm on my way.
He's on his way. He was gathering something. So we're going to go over this kind of stuff, which is Mind Factory Reloaded, a new mod that I've been introduced to recently, and it's amazing. So, any of you who have watched my... Oh, do you want me to cover the Tinker stuff first?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So, basically, Tinkers, you get this book, which is Materials in You. It's a pretty useful one. Why do you keep throwing your crap around?
I don't want it.
Oh,
here.
I don't either.
That was in your furnace. I'm borrowing your furnace.
Oh, okay. I have a bigger one downstairs. So basically, this is not the first book. This is volume 2, as you can see. I honestly don't remember ever getting the first book, but when you do certain things in Tinker's Construct, it just automatically will give you a book, or you can put this in your crafting table and make another one, but it's kind of... you don't really need to. Anyways, so it explains how to make each kind of tool. So a pickaxe, you need a pickaxe head, a tool rod, a tool binding, etc. and so on. It also explains what class they are, things they're effective on. So this is a really good book to keep around. Some of the new tools, daggers, are melee weapons that if you right-click can throw them, so forth. The chisel I haven't used yet, but this is a third type of chisel that's available. And it does stuff, again, with morphing blocks. So, eventually, you get over to traits. So, basically, each material type gives a different trait. So, durability... the durability of the item is measured by the durability, the handle multiplied by the handle I can't talk today. Modifier. And then it creates the full durability by doing so. So this is 59 times 1, you end up with 59 anyway. Then it's a mining speed and a mining level. Now this part confused me at first because diamond is only 3. And there is a fourth, at least. I can't remember if there's a fifth, but a fourth called cobalt, which I think we ran into at some point in the nether, and we mentioned that we couldn't mine it with diamond picks, so you need a Tinker's Construct cobalt level pickaxe to mine that. See, this one's a cobalt, a lumite. I don't know how to make that one, though. So these are all just different materials you can use. Then some of them explain, like, for example, these slime crystals. This is how you make the mud, and then you take the mud, and it turns into the crystal, etc. This is still materials, and then it gets into modifiers. So this is where this tool forge or tool station, the tool station is the first one. It's made out of wood, looks more like this, and then the forge is the upgrade that lets you use the tier 2, like the hammer, the battle axe, like the hybrid type tools. The first one only lets you do your basic pickaxes, swords, etc. And then the ones that, like, I can't remember which one it is. This one, no, that's actually a tier 1 too. The battle axe I know is a tier 2. That they do, like, a lot of damage and have other abilities and things like that. So that you need a tool forge for. But if you grab one of these and put it in there and then put an item here, it will do something. For example, if you take 9 moss cobblestone in a regular crafting bench, it makes one of these, which is a ball of moss. You can see that. Any mossy stones will make a ball of moss. If you put a ball of moss here, it will add this modifier, which when you take it out is an auto repair, one of my favorites. So that's how the modifiers work after you've made the tools. And so then at the back of the book here, these just explain what they are. So redstone gives it speed, emerald increases durability, diamond gives it extra durability, etc. There's some complicated ones. Lapis adds like fortune. You can make silk touch, so on and so forth. One of these in here somewhere, I think it's diamond and a block of gold. Yeah, diamond and a block of gold will add a modifier. I think you can only do this once. Don't quote me on that. You may be able to repeat it. I'm not sure. So that's kind of the overview of how the books work, or how this book works. The second book, I thought I had somewhere. I might have gotten rid of it at some point. But the second one is basically explains how to make the smeltery, which is what you need for casting. Now, this is the part that got very confusing for me. So, where is it? There's a pattern chest, which can be used to hold patterns. Patterns are made, I don't think it'll show me, pattern. So a blank pattern is made by two sticks diagonally and 2 planks diagonally in a 2x2 square. It makes one blank pattern, right? Right. Good. So I don't think I have any more of those. Anyways, let's just go ahead and make one. For example, oop, that makes a sickle apparently. So that makes a pattern. When you put it in the stencil table, you can select the pattern. It'll tell you what it is. So tool rod, hammerhead, large blade, so on and so forth. Actually, you know what? Do I have broad axe pattern? That's axe head. I don't have a broad head. So we'll actually use this to explain how we'll do things. So let me, because I need a weapon. I need an axe. Actually, I'm done with swords. I made a sword twice, and both of which I have lost through death. So I'm gonna go to a tier 2 weapon, which is a battle axe, right? So you need 2 broad axe heads, 1 tough rod, and 1 tough binding. Okay. Good. And I don't think I have a tool binding. I know I have a tough rod. Okay. So we have the broadhead axe pattern. Are you able to see this stuff, by the way?
Sorry,
if you right click on the stencil pattern, are you able to see this stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 1 broad hex pattern. You only need 1 pattern per type, really. I mean, unless you break them or something. And then you can put it in the pattern chest. Now, if you put a part table, which a part table, I haven't really shown the recipes on these things, but it's a log and a blank pattern mixed part table. Let's look up. A tool station is a crafting bench and a blank pattern, and then a tool forge, which is an upgrade, is a tool station, 3 seared bricks, and 4 iron blocks. That one's pretty expensive, but it lets you do stuff like what we're gonna do, which is the battle axe. And the pattern chest, I believe, is a chest and a blank pattern. So that one's easy. So we're gonna need another one. Oh, I have wood in my inventory. So I'll make this like so. Blank pattern. So now what we need to make is, where is it? It's one of those X ones. Tough binding. Now be careful with these, because as you can see on the side, there's tool binding and tough binding. The same is also with the rods. Tough pattern and tool, or tough rod and tool rod. They're 2 different things. So yeah, be careful to make the right one that you want, or just make them both. Or you can do what I do and make a second one, because I didn't realize I had one already. Now, let's see. So now the next step is, you remember the smeltery out here that Adrian had built? I went ahead and built one down here in my secret lab. Aha! These are these ghost blocks, which are amazing. They're just epic. I love them so much. This we're going to explain in a minute. That just did pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. So this is the smeltery that I've built. Now, if I had the black book on me, I could explain how this is made a little bit better. But you need these seared bricks, which is... oh, that's trippy. They're both called seared brick. So I'm going to refer to these as seared bars, or ingots, because that's what they are. I don't know why they're called bricks. So you need 4 of those to make 1 brick block, right? To make that, you need to smelt a grout. That's a 1-to-1. So grout makes 1 bar. To make that, you can do it a couple different ways. You can either do 1 sand, 1 gravel, and 1 clay, and it'll make 2, or you can do 4 sand, 4 gravel, and 1 clay block, and it'll make 8. It's totally up to you. It just depends on... I think that's one of those that the ratios are going to come out the same anyway. But it's 2 of these for 1 of these, and then you smelt them, and it makes these ingots. Then it makes these blocks. These ingots are pretty much used for everything smelter related. So what you need is these bricks, which there's 3 by 3, so 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so 9, 9, 18 for just the frame, and then you'll need 1. Get out of my way. You'll need 1 right here, too. Well, I guess you don't necessarily need it, but it makes it easier to put a drain somewhere if you've got a full thing there. So you need a lot of these bricks, the ingots especially, and then to make... I remember the drain. The drain is 3...
In the shape of a pot. Same way that you would make a pot.
Wait, is that the drain?
Wait.
I'm confused. Alright, hold on. The seared tank, which is this guy that holds the lava, is an 8, like a chest with a glass in the center. That's 1 seared tank. You can... This is kind of like most multi-block structures in modded Minecraft, that you can usually make the frame out of a lot of different stuff. Like you can do this, a second layer here that's all glass, that's these seared glass tanks type of thing. Seared glass here, which is a plus sign of glass, and then 4 ingots in the corner. And it's like it still sees it as the same thing. I don't know if the bottom layer has to be the straight bricks alone, and then the other ones, I don't know. I never tried it. Again, the black book thing, the second... I think it's, I forget what it's called, something about the smeltery in the Tinker's mod. When you put that book upstairs that we were just using in the crafting window and it gives you the black one, it explains all this stuff in detail. But the tank is for that. Glass, window, no, 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 no. The faucet you'll need, which is a bucket shape.
That's the one that I was thinking of.
Where's the drain, though?
The drain should be the 3 on either side.
Yes. Why is it not showing up in my... That's weird. Is it called something else? Oh, it might be called smeltery drain. There it is. So yeah, it's 3 on each side. And then the middle one is the controller, which is a chest pattern. Yeah. So that's how you make that. Then you fill this up with lava, just a bucket will do. You just right click, and then you put a drain somewhere with a faucet, and the faucet goes over the casting table. The casting table is pants, I think. The pants shape. And then you can make a casting basin, which is a U shape or a cauldron shape, and that's for making blocks, but that's not what we're gonna work with.
Now, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you put up, like, whether it be... Ow, taking damage.
How are you taking damage?
I glitched in the wall. Can you build up these seared bricks?
If you have more of them, yeah. You could
like,
make this as tall as the ceiling or whatever, and you would just have a massive amount to store.
Okay, so that increases the amount that you can
If you do like a full layer where it sees it as enclosed, then yeah. Okay. You couldn't do like one on the back row and then leave it. It wouldn't do anything. But if you can seal it to where it feels like it's a complete layer, then yeah, it'll increase your...
Does this tank have to be connected to this, or can it be connected just to the controller on the outside?
I believe it has to be part of the frame. Again, I'm not sure, but I never tried to do it another way. I think everything has to be part of the frame, but I don't know.
Okay.
And the corners don't matter from what I understand, as far as
Yeah.
like you can leave these empty permanently, and it's just these 3 by 3 by 3 type shapes. So basically, when you right click on this, you'll see, why is it? Oh, it's because I'm not smelting anything. Let's go ahead and melt this steel down. So you basically throw in stuff like this. I don't know why it's glitching. It's glitching and saying I don't have any fuel, but if you look over here, it says I have 1600 of 4000, so I don't know why it's doing that, but it's...
I think it takes.
Oh, there it goes. Now it
I think-
shows. Now it
yeah, I
shows
was
up.
about to say I think it takes time for the.
So basically, now one of the issues that I have that's kind of frustrating is that you can't do stacks of things. You'll notice I spread these all out. I didn't just place all 8 of them in one slot. It won't let you, and that's kind of annoying to me. I mean, it's not a big deal. It just takes more time. But if you see stuff like this, it shows it's melting them down. So basic.
Now I wonder, can you make this wider?
What do you mean wider?
Because there's a scroll thing on the side. So instead of a 3x3, do you think theoretically you could do like a 5x5 or something like that?
That I don't know. I don't know if you go up if it'll increase that scroller or if it's width. That part I'm not sure. I'd have to remake that book and find out how to do that. Because without the book or being able to look at the wiki, I'm not really sure. But so anyways, that's how you melt stuff down. And now one part that confused me, whatever is going to come out of this faucet, when you right click the faucet, it pours stuff out, right? Now, whatever is on the bottom is what's selected. That confused me for a long time. I thought whatever was on the top was selected. So you'll see I have molten tin, molten gold, somewhere in here I've got steel, there it is, and then I've got iron. So you can do multiple things, and we found out in a previous episode if you step in it, you can get blood. which is used for other stuff, but... And oddly enough, if you drop a villager in there, it makes emeralds. Yeah, it makes
Really?
liquid emeralds. So, you remember that mine factory spawner we were talking about? In theory, we could put one like right above here and just have it drop them in. So that's something for later. That's a project for later. Oh, there it goes.
I have a way to catch. I have a way to
There it
catch them
goes.
now.
So you'll notice the tin shows up on the top, the white, because it's on top here. But I have iron selected, or now it's gold, and now it's tin. So it's kind of confusing because whatever's on top is not what's selected. So that's something that's weird. And all you do is just click with your mouse of different things and it'll select. We want gold for now. So that's the smeltery. Now back up here. This is probably the most, I won't say complicated, but confusing part to me. Is you go to a part table, and what did we say we needed? We needed 2 broad axe heads, so you put a stencil in here. Now, the stencils in the part builder normally can only do like wood and stone and really small things, but things like iron, it won't do. Now, from what I understand, you might be able to put it up here and put an ingot in there. That part I don't know. I've never tried it. This is how I do it. If it's wrong, I apologize. Not my fault. So how much wood do I need to put in there? Alright, hold on. The bigger the tax, I think I was thinking more taxing, sorry about that. The bigger the job, like, the more complicated the structure is that you're trying to make, the more of a material you'll need. So let's see. There we go. So see if you can't just put one in there, it won't do it. Actually, I wonder how many you need. 8? Is it 8? I think it's 8. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you put 8 wood in here, it makes 1 broad axe head. Now, one important thing is you might think we need 2, so let's go ahead and make 2 of them. No, you don't need 2. You need 1 of those. Now, let's make a tough binding. How many do you need? Dang it. Okay. Whatever. I'm just going to leave that there. And what was the other thing? Tough rod, I think. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me check. Okay, I have a tough rod casted, so I don't need that. Alright. So that's one thing that gets kind of tricky, is you want to make the part, and then you come down here. Now, you'll need either gold or aluminum brass. And aluminum brass is not like 2 things. It's a alloy. So aluminum brass ingots are right here. You can make it... Where did it go? Somewhere in here it explains. There it is. Molten aluminum and molten copper. Now, this is something I haven't delved into much yet, but it's really kind of tricky. But it's you have to be really precise. Like, you have to have 432 millibuckets and 144, and that makes 576 of the aluminum brass. It has to be, like, perfectly ratioed. So I haven't gotten into that much, but gold will work for what we need. So now what you do is you take the part that we made from the part builder and you place it here instead of the stencil. That's where I was messing up before. And when you right click on the faucet, it dumps gold out onto it. Now if it'll harden, and now you have a cast. See? Okay.
Yep.
So then what we need is we need to put down one of these, pour gold on it, and boop, got another cast. So you only need one cast per thing. That's why I was laughing at myself for making more of what I didn't need. I'm gonna go with steel on this because it's the toughest metal that I have access to right now, and steel is made with iron, and you resmelt iron. If you resmelt iron bars, ingots, it'll make it into steel, and then you can come back and melt it down. So we'll put one of these down, which is the cast. Now the casts, because they're made out of gold or brass, are used with the molten metal stuff, so we can actually cast them. Now this, every time this flashes, I think it's using another ingot. I'm not positive on that. So that was like 3 ingots worth, if that makes sense. I think. Let's check. I have 7 ingots total right now. Because this faucet only lets come out what it needs to. It's not like that channel we had outside. And so I've noticed it blinking, and every time it blinks, I think it's an ingot that it uses.
Oh, wow. No,
nope, that's more than that. My bad. Alright. Oh, it's not enough. Okay. That could be a problem. So I think... do I have extra iron ore? I think I do. Yeah, I do. I have a bunch of it.
You need to go. You need to go mining.
No, I actually have like almost a stack of it.
Oh, almost a stack. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I just don't know where anything is.
I've got almost like 10
Now the
stacks.
other thing that's frustrating is what to do with the parts after you've made a cast. I don't really know what to do with them. I guess you could use them for fuel or whatever. But basically all you weren't going to do is take these ingots, throw them back in the furnace, and then cook them, and then melt them down in the smeltery. So I think we'll take a break while that goes on, and we'll be back in a minute.
I'll get
Alright,
it back.
alright. We're back. We're back. Shh, shh. Alright, so we smelted up some more steel. I got 8 more ingots, so I hope that does something. It's enough to fill that. Oh, that was a full ingot right there. So I want to try this as well. I went ahead and took the parts that I had from the wooden one. I want to see, this is untested. Since we can put this in the casting table, I gotta see if we can just make a cast. No, it won't let us. Okay. I was afraid of that. Okay, so, and you can use the wooden ones too. Don't get me wrong. If you've got a tool forge, you can make the whole thing out of wood if you want to. I personally just don't want to. Oh, I'm a dumb. I'm a dum-dum. The things tell you right in the thing what material costs they have. So the axe head has 8, so it takes 8 ingots to make a cast head. Or axe head. And this one is 3. So we should have 3 ingots missing. Yep. So I'm a dumb. We'll put this in here, make a tough rod. Bing! I love this though. Like, I think this is awesome. The whole casting and everything. I love it. Oh, one other thing. Bass player showed me that I had a creeper down here in my dark room that's growing my ore berries, right? So I micro-blocked the floor here, hoping that it would keep them from spawning. I couldn't block this one. Oh, sorry.
Ouch.
I didn't even know you were there. I blocked this one just because if I put a block there, I couldn't walk in here because of the height. it saw it as 1 block. So I know you wouldn't have a problem. You just turn into a bat or stay a bat or whatever.
Yep.
He spends most of his time as a bat. So I've just been adding to my casting tools here of casts that I have. So now we have the 2 axe heads, the tough binding, and the rod. So now you put them in the tool forge. You select the one that you want. This is for the anvil symbol is for repairing or adding modifiers. Everything else is for building. So we'll put one here, one here, one here, and one here. Boom. And it'll tell you before you do it. So mining speed 8, mining level cobalt, which we've been over, attack 4 parts, durability is insane, and it has 3 modifier slots. Now, make that. I don't know, what is this? Oops, I threw it. My bad. I threw that. So this is a stone level, mining speed 2, 2 hearts, low durability, and 3 modifiers. So you could make a wood one if you were, you know, pressed for whatever. Although I would argue if you had enough iron to make use the 4 blocks to make the table, you probably have enough iron to make it out of something better. Just my opinion. Okay, so now we're gonna grab this ball of moss because I like my stuff to be repaired. Put this here, put this here. Now you'll notice it changes the color because some of the different things will change the colors to them. And we have made a battle axe. So that's pretty much how the tools work. I mean, as far as making them, it was really the casting thing that confused me for a long time, and I had to do a lot of wiki searching and reading to figure out how to do it accurately. Actually, this is the last one that you get. It's the diary, which basically adds a story to all of the Tinker's mod stuff, which is kind of funny. I thought it was funny. Oh, here's the black book. I had it right here. I couldn't find it. So it shows you the items that you can use. It explains some of the functions, etc. So the smeltery is multi-block. Following materials: 1 controller, 1 tank, 9 seared bricks, and then any combination of seared bricks, tanks, or drains, a faucet, and a casting table. And then it even gives you pictures, pretty pictures. So if you set your casting table or casting basin down in the ground like this and recess it, the drain can be part of the main floor block, or the main wall. So that's an option if you don't want to make an extra one, and then it explains what we just went over, explains how to make that stuff, blah 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 blah, and then some good stuff about using the casting basin to make full blocks of things. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Very, very fun. I like it. I've had a lot of fun with this mod. And I'm still having fun with it. Oh, one other thing. Yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Auto repair. Oh, I think I was just gonna go over some of the modifiers that, like redstone, improves mining speed. That's only useful to the tools if my memory serves. Like a pickaxe will mine faster, but if you use it on a sword, I don't think it does anything. And the same can be said with stuff like, I think quartz on a sword will increase the damage or something like that, but obviously it won't do anything for like a tool. So keep in mind what modifiers you're using on what kinds of tools. And what purpose they're for. And I use steel there. You can use all kinds of stuff. You can melt down obsidian. You can make aluminums, or not aluminums. Well, you can make that too, but you can make alloys is what I was thinking of, which are mixtures of metals. I mean, you can do all kinds of crap with that. Steel was the most effective for what I have right now. I have some more stuff to go over at some point in the future, but I think we're out of time for this episode, so it'll have to be at another time. So I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!